Good morning. So I didn't know when I was going to make this video, if I was going to make this video, how I was going to make this video, but I've been hemming and hawing about it for the last couple of weeks. It's time for a life update. So my car is still at the mechanic. At least now we know the motor needs to be replaced. So the motor's been ordered. It got shipped to the wrong location, and waiting for it to get here now. So while all of this has been going on, I finally made a clean, energetic break from my roommate. I didn't get to complete my zodiac sign readings for February because I've had a lot going on. I've made new friends who have been catalysts for new awakenings recently, and I've reconnected with old friends. So this may be the last video recorded in this house. My car should be back soon, and hopefully before the end of the summer, because I want to be gone by winter. Before the end of the summer, me and my daughter are moving. My son just left for Oklahoma. He's going to go spend the rest of this year with his dad and his girlfriend. He moved out of my house about 2 months ago because his girlfriend was no longer welcome here. So he decided to leave. He's 17. When they found out how hard it was to be on their own as, older teenagers, well, young adults, older teenagers, when they found out how hard it was now to do this on their own, he started saving some money, bought himself some bus tickets, and he left Norfolk yesterday. He's on his way to Oklahoma. In fact, right now he's probably not that far from Tennessee. They had a layover last night in Washington. He's not talking to me. He's only talking to his dad, and yeah, we'll just see how this goes the next couple of weeks. So me and the monkey, she's 18. This friend that I reconnected with is going through some shit, and I've been receiving instruction, I've been receiving guidance, initiations on what my next move needs to be, and I was asked to come to Virginia to live with him and his son. And I accepted. This is a big deal for me. This is a big, huge deal for me because I've been here since 2006. Adam and my relationship has spanned the last 16 years. So my kids were babies. My husband had just left. I've had no time alone since I moved to North Carolina. Not physically alone, but at some point I realized that I've been alone this whole time because of his drug addiction, because of his stepping outside of his wedding vows with his wife when we first got together. Very, very fucked up circumstances, and I've accepted and forgave myself for my part that I played in all of this. So all along this whole way, the cosmic heart started to be channeled through me. I left YouTube for a while and have just been posting on Facebook, keeping Enlightened Heart Soul Connection alive at some level. So I've still been doing my daily readings. My poetry has been more centered on myself, and using it to transmute these emotions that I've been feeling since January. So I made new friends. One in particular has been a giant catalyst for some very expansive growth. Meaning that he's on an awakening journey right now to self-awareness, and he's working on self-awareness where, not everybody, I had to learn this, not everybody comes to this path the same way. We all have different roads that we have to travel in order to get to these places. And because of what I was born into, the family, the lineage, the spiritual practices, the way that I grew up, it was never taught to me that the universe is mental. It was never taught to me that. I had to come into discovery of that on my own, but I've always been spiritual, if that makes sense. So when I had the grand awakening right after my stroke, I was able to move real quick in my understanding of how the universe works. It was never backwards. It was all divinely orchestrated. I had, and I always knew this, I had to learn things in order to unlearn things, in order to learn new things. Like, oh, I can do this. Why can I do this? Like, I didn't find out till later. Okay, so here's the story about the friend I'm reconnecting with. Well, before I go there, in February when I started channeling the Cosmic Heart, we already had a love portal open, and we're sitting in this liminal space between Lionsgate opening in August and Lionsgate closing in February. And new moons are about manifesting. So when the new moon in Leo happened in August, after Lionsgate, it closed with the full moon in Leo in February. And when that portal closed, I started channeling the Cosmic Heart, and I started learning more and more about the twin flame journey. And I realized through the wisdom given to me by the Cosmic Heart that the twin flame journey is bullshit, and the paradigm surrounding it is bullshit, because to the universe, every single one of us is a twin flame. We're just fractals of the divine source. So you could be a twin flame to the next person. Not could, are. What makes it that twin flame connection has everything to do with the emotional healing that takes place within inside of every single one of us. Twin flames are when two balanced people, and when I say balanced, I mean you have a decent balance of masculine and feminine within you. When those forces are balanced and you meet somebody with a very balanced core like that, their flame, your flame, the flames have been ignited, you're able to come together. When your Merkabas have been activated, you're able to come together. And it could be anybody. It could be anybody. There are soul contracts. That's where all this confusion comes in. You definitely contracted a soul to, or many souls, to help you get to this point in your journey. Everybody that you meet, it's not coincidence, it's divine orchestration. You're the divine, and you made that happen because there was some sort of lesson that you needed to learn so that you two could come together. When you recognize that every single person that you come into contact with is your mirror reflecting back to you what triggers need to be healed, what traumas need to be healed. When you start recognizing that everyone is you, they're just you, it changes the game, and then you're able to start shifting the paradigm. So working with them more again in December and January, at some point I recognized that there was a reality break that needed to happen. And I already was living that new paradigm, but somehow I had to, or not living that paradigm. I already understood that paradigm, but something needed to shift so that I could probably live that paradigm. And I had already sort of lived in this situation that needed to happen, right? So here's the story about the friend that I've reconnected with. When I was 19 years old and I had just become a mom for the first time, I worked for a junkyard company, they were a trucking company, and I worked in the scale house as a dispatcher and like the scale bitch. I was in charge of writing out bill of ladings and taking money from customers for their scrap metal and making sure that the scale was right and blah blah blah. Right before Blade was born, a gentleman by the name of Gary came to work for us as a laborer out in the yard. And as my pregnancy progressed, like, we got to know each other. It was just a work relationship, whatever. And Blade was born in September, and right after I turned 19. And sometime in the early winter, I left his dad. And throughout that whole thing, like, I was friends with Gary. We had a mutual friend who was one of my truck drivers, Tom, and like, we were just all friends and talked to each other. Well, shortly after I started to make the decision to get rid of Terry, he started to pursue me. I was 19. He was in his 40s. Actually, I believe he had just turned 40. 40 or 41. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So he started pursuing me. I got Terry to move out of my house. I ended up having what I felt like needed to happen, was to get a restraining order because he was doing some fucked up shit. Sleeping with a gun in the bed, threatening to kill me and my son if we ever left him, shit like that. And I had these visions of just grabbing Blade in the middle of the night and leaving. I had to go to the police department to get this restraining order delivered, and everybody was fucking mad at me. Everybody was mad at me that I did it, but you know what? For me, for my mental health, it needed to happen. The police were at my house all the time. I was constantly calling in that he was threatening to fucking kill us. There wasn't a whole lot they could do. He would throw these temper tantrums and break shit, and I'm not saying I was innocent in any of this at all. I had a wild side when I was younger, but I was loyal. I never cheated. So yeah, so in the early winter, he was gone. Actually, no, I think it was late winter, early spring. He was gone, and You know, Gary had already been pursuing, you know, dropping subtle hints here and there. And when Terry was gone, it's go time. And we had so much fun. And we had so much fun. But he was able to teach me about detachment, because I started to get like fucking weird, crazy. I was only 19. I was becoming, I wouldn't say obsessed, but I was falling in love with this man. And I told him, and he was like, look, I'm married. You and my wife can become friends, come hang out with us. Like, just have fun. It doesn't have to be that serious. Like, we can be friends and this just be fun, and it just is what it is. When you tell me to go, I'll go. If you need to go do whatever, go do it. Like, it was very free. Very free. And we had a lot of fun. And him and his family watched my son grow. They watched him learn to crawl. They watched him learn to walk. In fact, he took his first steps on their kitchen floor. I didn't start getting bored, but I started to need something deeper. And for a short time, I slept with his friend Tom, who was our mutual friend. He was one of the drivers that I was the dispatcher of at work. And we had some fun for a while, and then I met, I'm trying to think how this played out. Me and Terry hooked back up for a little while, and I got pregnant with my second child. It didn't last very much longer, and then in 2005, I met my husband at work. And all the early mornings and late nights stopped, and I started to settle down, and then I moved here to North Carolina. Through that time, me and Gary and his family all stayed in touch through Facebook. We talked on the phone for, like once a month for a couple of years, and then we stayed in contact on Facebook and, went about our lives. Life happens. Gary was such an integral part of my life that unconsciously I was making choices based on that relationship. And that's how I ended up with Adam. And we were together for 6 years when his wife decided to leave. While this was the biggest mistake of my life, it was also the biggest blessing in my life, because he is the reason why I woke up. He's the reason why I embraced all of this so much. If it wasn't for the narcissism and the addiction and the constant daily trauma, I would have never healed. Well, fast forward to today. And Gary and I have reconnected, and he's actually not that far away from me right now. He's still far, but it's not 8 hours, it's only 6. He's just on the other side of Virginia, across the state line. So basically, I'm going to have to drive literally on the state line in order to get over there. But he has suffered from many strokes over the years, and he's has a difficult time communicating because of that. But when we talked on the phone for the first time and reconnected after 18 years, because I hadn't seen or talked to pretty much any of them since I was pregnant with Cy. And it all came flooding back in. It was a short time, but there's so many memories stored in my brain. And I started to understand, because I was still channeling the cosmic heart. That's never going to go away. I'm a channel now for the cosmic heart, so that's never going to go. So the cosmic heart has been sending downloads about the twin flame journey and manifestation and the art of surrender. And I find out that everything that I've been trying to manifest for the last 20 years, a big property with a house for me and my kids and my dogs, and recently I've been wanting to do this, that, and the other thing, and in comes this person who always just made me feel safe. I was always safe. Safe emotionally. I always knew where I stood. There was never a question about what my place was in his life. And all of those memories flooded back in. So when two complete Merkabas come together, they form a tesseract. That tesseract has the potential to expand out into the collective and universal consciousness within each and every one of us, and heal the people without doing anything that we come into contact with. It's like hydrogen and oxygen coming together and forming water. It's expansive. It's healing. The cosmic heart also told me that there is absolutely no reason at all to stay celibate, to stay single. If you feel like you're walking your daily life in flow, connected to spirit, to the present moment, while there may be healing that still needs to happen, if a person walks into your life with a complete energy field, a completely balanced masculine and feminine energy, and your intuition says, because you are in the flow, and you guys connect and it's mutual, allow that energy to magnetize you guys together so that the healing can happen on a cellular level between the two of you. Because you're in a healed and healing state, you're not coming at it from need. You are not coming at it from desperation. There's no codependency. You're not trying to save the world or save the other person. You just want to be able to exist in each other's spaces to provide safety for that other person to heal, to finish healing, and vice versa. So that information came in. And then I got the vision that everything that I've been manifesting for the last 20 years literally has been taking that long to manifest because of right now. Because all of the material things that I wanted in my life, the emotional things that I wanted in my life, hold on. Whoops. Everything is literally possessed by this man who is offering to share the rest of his life, the rest of my life with. And all that love and all that emotion and everything that we shared 22 years ago, it's still there. It's still there. There's no newness and no surprises. Like, you are you and I am me, and I would love for our inner children to be able to come out and play together. And that's where his healing needs to take place, because he somehow along the way lost himself. When he had his strokes, he didn't have somebody to show him how to reconnect with that inner child the way that I did. I did that by myself. But I can hold space for you and help you while you try to discover who that is, and I can nurture and I can bring that inner child back out. You know, maybe in a new way, because we're different people now, but deep inside we're both the same. So manifestations are happening so fast because without knowing it, I started manifesting this shit 20 years ago. We're in a weird planetary cycle right now, a 19-year cycle, and it's closed and time to start my new journey. So I said yes. I'm going to throw away my life that's here. I'm going to just throw it away, and I'm going to go and start a new life with somebody that's safe, that I've known for a long time. I'm not just leaving all my relationships here and going somewhere completely unknown. At least I'll have safety and familiarity while I'm there, while I build my new path. And I've already, received a couple instructions, and I'm just kind of waiting now to see where all that's going to go. So 2026 will probably bring this YouTube channel into a completely different vision. And I don't know how many more videos will be recorded sitting here at this table. All right, so I kind of want to leave you guys with a final piece of information, something to send you on your way for this Sunday. I hope you're all having a fantastic weekend. But let's take a message from the Starseed Oracle just to kind of leave us with where we're at today. What does the collective need to know going forward? Why are my cards all jacked up? Very weird. Let's try this again. All right, what can we send the collective away with for this Sunday? Perfect. A new earth. It's happening. Keep holding the vision. That's exactly what is happening. New earth. And when Pluto moved into Aquarius, oh my God, it was so fucking exciting and eye-opening and amazing. And this paradigm, the love paradigm, the twin flame paradigm, it's all getting ready to change. And we're going to be breaking these paradigms. As starseeds, the light workers, the awakened ones, the chosen. If any of that resonates with you, get ready to break fucking reality. And it's going to be fun as shit to watch. And I hope they all have popcorn. Or I hope you all have popcorn, because it's going to be fucking great. All right. So a new earth, it's happening. Keep holding the vision. I think this is the first card. It is. It's the first card in this deck. That's how fucking appropriate. Don't give up now. You're closer than you think. I know it's hard to hold the frequency of a new age when it feels as if so much is crumbling and so many are losing faith. This is your sign that you're facing the right direction. You have a great gift in being able to see the potential of things before they exist. Tend to the new seeds. Dream them into existence. Don't lose faith now. Keep your focus fixed. All you have to do is surrender. Just surrender. And you're going to see that everything flows to you exactly when it's supposed to. Step off the cliff. Just like Indiana Jones and the temple. No, was it the temple? The Last Crusade. When they were walking to find the Holy Grail. And they had to go from one cavern to the next cavern, and there was no way across. And he stepped out on faith, and there was a bridge. Okay? Just take the step. Let go. Live in the present. I love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the rest of your day today, and I will catch you guys on the next video.